Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on this Tuesday afternoon. Very excited about our webinar today, how to request and review tax returns at scale with PreciseFP and Holistiplan. My name is Courtney Peak. I'm the head of support here at PreciseFP. Joining me today is Tori Hoppy, head of partnerships from Holistiplan. Tori, I want to thank you so much for joining us today, and we're so excited to see all the really cool things that can be done with Holistiplan.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So just a little bit of housekeeping before we do get started. Everyone is on mute, but if you have any questions, go ahead and put those right in the GoToWebinar control panel. We should have some time at the end so Tori and I can go over your questions that you may have for us. We're also recording this webinar, so we'll be sending this out about an hour after the webinar wraps for everyone that attends today. And then we will also actually be posting this up on our YouTube channel, so you can watch that as well from there. All right, on the agenda today, we are going to start off with talking about PreciseFP, kind of talk about what it is for those folks who are new to us, and show you how to create a form template that allows the client to upload tax forms. We're going to show you how that experience looks for both the client as well as the advisor. We're going to show you how you can view and download those uploaded documents. Also show you how you can actually export data from the PreciseFP form also to your other platforms such as your CRM and financial planning software. And then I'm going to bring Tori back on the line. She's going to show you all the ins and outs of Holistiplan, how to get that 1040 form into Holistiplan, show you how you can read the client's return in seconds, how to generate a beautiful, clean, and easy to read client deliverable, and really see that instant scenario analysis. So a lot of exciting stuff today. So we're going to go ahead and dive right in with, oops, sorry, got the wrong slide here. But just going to talk about kind of what is PreciseFP. So for those who are brand new, may not know what PreciseFP is, basically we are a data gathering platform. So we help advisors really kind of offload the work of collecting client information. We've been around since 2007. So for the past 15 years now, we've really grown from just a single questionnaire. So it really was this little questionnaire that we had, just one. It wasn't able to be customized or anything like that to evolve to what we are today, to a complete data management solution that captures, validates, and securely stores client data. And we have a lot of integration partners such as CRMs, financial planning tools, and so much more, so that as advisors, you're going to be able to share data between applications with a click of a button and really get out of the data entry business is really what we're about, and helping you really do that with PreciseFP. Now, a lot of times, if you have heard of us, people tend to think that we are just a fact-finding solution, but we have so many solutions kind of wrapped into one data gathering platform. I'm not going to be able to get into all of them today, but things such as surveys, risk tolerance, e-signature, document uploads and storage, which is something we're going to be focusing on today, lead generation, service agreements, and so much more are included in the cost of PreciseFP. And like I mentioned before, when we first started out, we only had one questionnaire available, wasn't able to be customized or anything like that. So we've really evolved over the years with the help from advisors like you all to make PreciseFP what it is today, and really make the experience for your clients as well as you and your business much more efficient by really having all of these important pieces kind of wrapped up into one platform. So what we're going to go ahead and do now is I'm actually just going to jump right on over into PreciseFP. I'm going to show you the ins and outs, like I mentioned before, kind of show you the library real quickly that we do have, and how you can customize that, how you can lay down what we call an upload field, have your client attach those tax documents. And like I said, I'm going to bring Tori back on the line so she can show you all the things that you can do within Holistiplan. So let me switch my screen on over here. All right, so now we're in PreciseFP. One thing that I always like to show folks when I'm doing like demos and things like that is the library. So really think of PreciseFP, as a data gathering platform, but it's basically engaging your clients with digital forms, really kind of offloading the data entry a little more onto them. So we do have a library full of templates that are ready to go and ready to be used, but we are a 100% customizable solution. So any of these form templates, you can 100% customize them. And that could be something as simple as branding it to maybe you want to combine 2 or 3 forms into one or break apart a form. I mean, really the sky is the limit. So what I'm going to do today is I'm just going to actually take one of the templates that are already built and structured in the library and just customize that. I want to show you how easy it is to use our editor to lay down things like an upload field and use something that we already have just so you don't have to reinvent the wheel. But keep in mind that you can, if you want to, you can come out here and you can actually create your own templates from the ground up if you prefer, not a problem. So I always like to start with something very simple, just like a household structure template is usually good enough for me when I'm doing customization. So I've actually already got this installed. I'm actually just going to replace the one that I have because I've made tons of edits on it going through demos. So I'm just going to basically start with a clean slate here. So I'm going to go into the editor of this particular form. So this is where really you can shine and really make your template stand out if you want to. You can do things like changing the colors and branding it. I'm not going to go into that too much today, just due to time constraints, but we've got a lot of help videos to show you how to really do that if you want to. But this one is very simple. It's just asking information about the client, and this page in particular, actually, let me do a preview of it so you can see it, is set up to allow them to basically add a co-client. And when they do that, the whole page replicates over again so they can add information for their spouse, partner, significant other. And then it also asks them about the household members, and that's it. That's the extent of this form. But I want to expand upon this, right? Because we want to show you how you can use PreciseFP to actually engage your clients and have them upload their tax forms, their 1040s and such into this form. So I'm actually, with this one, I think what I'm going to do is I am just going to remove this entire household members page. And I'm just going to actually lay down a brand new page. Or what you can do is we do have some pre-made pages that are already available in our data set. So you're welcome to use this if you want. Like we do have this expenses and taxes page, which does allow your client to, actually it has some calculations already on it. So if you use like one of our fact finders, it can auto calculate things for you. But what I do want to do with this one is, because you'll see we actually have an annual taxes section. So what I can do in this example is, let's say I don't want the expenses sections on here. I can actually go ahead and remove those. Now you'll see that we actually already have upload fields here, but I want to show you folks how easy it is to actually customize this. So I am just going to kind of use these ones that are already here, but I want to also show you how you can add your own fields as well. So let's say I want to maybe add another row underneath this. Well, what I can do is I can actually click on a cell that's already there. I can choose to add another row. Or let's say, for example, maybe I want to add another field to the right of that. I can actually choose to click the arrow that points to the right. And now anywhere there's an empty cell, what I can do is I can lay down what we call a new element or a new field on this particular form here. So I'm going to click on the plus sign, and the document upload is what this is. So the document upload element that you place here, and you can say, well, like this one says, return recent federal tax return, or you could say upload 1040 here if you wanted to. Another thing that you can do with these fields is you can actually make them mandatory. That makes it so that when you actually, I'll create that here, when the client gets this form, they actually cannot submit the form until they upload something here in this case. So that's something that you can choose to do, not just on, this element that I have here that I've created, but you could do that on, any of the fields that we have out here. Some of them on some of these forms are already set up to be mandatory, but if you want to edit any of the existing ones that are there and make them mandatory, you can certainly do that. And again, that's nice because, with something like this, with this kind of workflow that you're creating and having this information get over to Holistiplan, this may be something that you do want the client to upload. You don't want them to skip over. So maybe making that field in this particular case mandatory would be something that you would want to do. Not required, obviously, but that's up to you. So let's just do a quick preview of this. The preview is something that when I'm editing forms, I click on often, especially as I'm, going through and making quite a few edits, which if you do, it's going to auto save for you. But it's nice because you can come out here and do a preview and see exactly what it looks like. And this is what the client's point of view too is going to be. So you can actually click on the open it in a new window and it opens it up bigger so you can see it on your screen what exactly it's going to look like when this goes out to the client. Now here is that upload field. Now the really cool thing about the upload fields is that the moment that the client attaches a document here, an add more button is automatically going to appear. So if they have more than one 1040 in this example, then they can click on add more. They'll be able to upload another document up there. There's no limit, folks. There is absolutely no limit to the number of files that your client can attach on any given form. So that is something that is also included in the cost of PreciseFP is unlimited document storage. So your client could honestly go through there and click on, and add 100 documents. We're not going to charge you anything extra to have those files on the form or in PreciseFP for your client, which is really nice there. So now we've got this form built. I'm not going to go too crazy with the customization options here. Like I said, maybe I want to, change the name of it so it's not household structure. Maybe I call it tax form or something like that. I mean, obviously it's just something I came up with on the fly, but you can change that to say whatever you want that is seen by the client. So what I want to do now is, now that I've got my form created, I want to send this out to a client because I want to show you guys what the experience looks like on the client side, as well as you as the advisor side, and how you can actually get those documents and review those and download those. And then Tori will show you what you can do to get those into Holistiplan. So let me go to one of my clients here. And I'm going to click on their name and I'm going to click on engage with a form. And then here's my tax form that I just created. Now, if you've got a client and a co-client, you want to send it to both of them. You can choose to select both as a recipient. In this case, I am just going to actually choose one of them. And what you can do is you can actually choose to send it off immediately, which would send it to them via email. It goes out of PreciseFP to their email. Or if maybe you want to review it and pre-fill some of it beforehand, you can also go that route too, which I'm going to do here just to kind of quickly show you what it looks like. It's basically just going to take you almost like the version you saw in the preview, but what's nice with this one is this is going to show you what it looks like pre-filled out with your client's data. So this form, I've got some information on file for them. It is coming pre-populated. I can see all that here. If I, as the advisor, want to go through and add anything, I can do that here in edit mode. It would auto save for me. And then once you're done here, this is also an alternative route that you can go to get your form out to your client, is you're presented with a link to it. So if you maybe not want to send it out of PreciseFP, well, you don't have to. You can actually get this link and copy it and paste it and send it out of your own email if again, you prefer to go that way. Now what I'm going to do is I am just going to act as if I am the client going into this. So there is a authentication process. You can choose to have them set up a password, have the authentication done via email, which is what I'm doing now. I'm not going to show you my email, but I just got a secure PIN via email, or you can have the authentication done via SMS. So that is perfectly up to your discretion, however you want to have them authenticate. So as the client, I'm now going in, I can see my form. I'm seeing all the information that is already on file here. And now what I can do is I can click on this upload field here. And what I'm going to do is I am just going to, let me get one of my forms here. And as I was mentioning before, once they upload their first file, an add more button appears and they're able to click on it. I'm just going to do it just so you can see, but then they're able to now grab another file and attach that to the form, and they can keep going. So there's no limit here, folks. They can add as many documents as they want here. And as you can see, we do accept all files, and I just did a PDF in this case. Now this one is a mandatory field, so I did put something here, so I'm not going to have any issues. But let's say they uploaded a file and they chose the wrong one, they can go ahead and they can remove it and add again if they wanted to. But I'm just going to go ahead for the example here. I'm going to finish this. And as an advisor, you would actually get an email alert letting you know that the client is done. So let me go back to PreciseFP, and just because I did this in the same browser, which I don't recommend when you're testing, I'm just going to do a quick refresh. So now, how do you view that form, and how do you view that document that the client actually uploaded there? Well, there's this spot here in PreciseFP that you can go to. This is a great way to actually keep track of all of your forms that you've sent out to folks. So you can kind of come out here and see, you know, if somebody's still working on their form, how much of it have they filled out, when's the last time they accessed it. You guys can even set up periodic email reminders to go out on the form too. As long as they haven't submitted it, you can have a reminder just to go out to them to kind of nudge them to go out there and finish what they started if you wanted to. So now I can go out here and I see I got an email alert, which again, I'm not going to show you my email, but I got an email alert, but I can also see here in PreciseFP, my client has completed the form. So even though it says they only filled in 84%, and the reason for that is because I don't have all of my fields on my form marked as mandatory. So some of them may not have been applicable. So unless you set your form to have all fields as mandatory, you may not always have a form that's 100%. But when I click on this, I can click on view engagement to actually see the form. And there is a spot here that says uploaded documents. So what I can do is I can, if I had more than one, I could actually click on download all, and that would download all of them for me. But in this case, I am just going to click on the file, and I'm going to open it here. And then it does show me the, in this case, it'll show me the attachment that my client did actually upload there into the form. So in this case, it is just a blank one, as you can see, but I would be able to then, this downloaded right onto my computer for me automatically when I clicked on that. And again, if you click on download all, it will download all of those documents for you. So then you have those all in one folder. So that's how you can actually use the forms to grab, to engage your clients and have them send you those tax forms. Now, as I mentioned too, the PreciseFP platform does work with CRMs and financial planning software. So what you can also do is, let's say you use maybe one of the fact finders that we have, and not only is your client uploading, tax forms, but maybe they're sending you information about their assets and their liabilities and things like that. That information comes into their profile here in PreciseFP, And then what you can also do from here is you're going to be able to export it on over to your CRM and your financial planning software, as well as getting and downloading those documents and then uploading those into Holistiplan, which I'm going to bring Tori back on here in just a moment so she can show you what you can do with that. So kind of kills numerous birds with one stone, if you will, just kind of making PreciseFP this platform that's, kind of the first step of your process. Placing this is kind of a client-facing piece. You're engaging them with a form, and it can look and feel however you want. They're uploading the documents, as well as giving you data that can then also go over into your CRM and financial planning software as well. So hopefully that gives you a good idea of how you can use PreciseFP, not only for just getting these uploads, but also for, again, getting information on over to your other applications as well. So with that, I'm going to actually bring Tori back on the line. So now we've got our 1040 tax forms. Tori's going to jump back on and show you all of the things that you can do within Holistiplan once you get that 1040. Tori, I'm going to go ahead and pass it on over to you.
Great, thanks so much. Okay, so once the client, I love that PreciseFP allows you, the advisor, to kind of collect that information from the client ahead of time. So if you wanted to, you will already have that 1040 paperwork ready to go. So what you do is you would download that out of PreciseFP and quickly upload it into Holistiplan. So there's a few items I want to show here. This is our dashboard. So when you log in, we offer a couple of webinars every month. We do new user orientation, which is if you sign up with us, we kind of walk you through the platform, and then office hours. We kind of set up these office hours for you to hop in and out of, to talk to the team, ask questions. If you've got like a complicated client you want to talk about, hop into office hours and we're able to help you out about that. And then we do specific tool type webinars. So this month, or actually next month, and this month actually, we're doing one on scenario analysis and the range calculator. So you can always sign up for these. If you want to attend more than one office hour or new user orientation, you're absolutely able to do that. What's also really great about it is we also have integrations with your CRM. So if you are a Redtail or a Wealthbox user, we're able to import clients in from there. So very simple. You just click on the one that you use. You choose the client that you'd like to migrate over from. You fetch the clients, and it'll give you a list of current clients that you'd like to bring over. I've already done most of my client polls from Redtail. So what you're going to see when you click onto the household section here is the little icons from each Wealthbox and Redtail, so you can see where those clients are coming from. So I'm going to work with David Hall. So we make this really convenient, right? You have that 1040 return from your client. So all you really need to do is click this upload button, drag and drop that file in, and within a few moments that return has been read by our account, by our platform. When you do, you come into the household here. There's a few items I want to point out. It's always really important that if it doesn't pull over the state information, always put the state up here. So there's a great spot. You'll see this later when I go over the report. It gives you some tips and tricks for each state if they do have state income taxes. So it's always important to have that state. And then it's also really important down here to make sure that the date of birth pulled over. So if it doesn't pull over or it's blank, make sure you put in the date of birth, because there's also age defining tax laws that you want to make sure that you're working with for the client. So just those are two tips and tricks I like to point out. Make sure you have the state listed here and the date of birth listed. So what you'll see here on the household is the tax return, the year. So I'm working with 2021. The taxpayer, you can view the document that you loaded. So if you just hit view return, it's going to pull up that return that you had for that client. Oops, daisy. And then what's really great is this tax report. So this is that report that Holistiplan is going to create for you and your client. This takes all of the data off of their 1040 and creates this beautiful report, easy for you to read with your client. I like to start off with this key figure. So this is just the breakdown of what they paid for the year and the marginal tax rate and average return rate up here. So this is a great starting point. You can kind of tell the client, this is where you're starting at. This is what you paid for last year, and show them, very briefly what they paid. I also love that it's all in dollar value. I think when you're working with a client, you can say percentages and that might not register very well, but if you're talking about an actual true dollar amount that they can tangibly understand, they'll understand what you're trying to accomplish better. So as you're going through this report, you can see the breakdowns of the different sections of the tax return that you can do. These little icons allow you to either move them around or hide them. So maybe this information doesn't necessarily apply to this client, or you just don't want to go over it with them. You can hide it by clicking the little eye, or if you want to make this more important, you can move them up and down around in the return. You could also have the option to move the layout if you collapse it. You can rearrange the panels. This is also, you're able to white label. So you're able to add your company logo and disclaimers and disclosures to all these items as well. So like I mentioned, you can move these around. It's going to break those down for you. Schedule B, the cap gains and losses, Medicare, itemized deductions. This one's always really fun to go and look at, because you can show them the total itemized for standard deduction. Maybe they would have been better off had they done that standard deduction instead of itemizing, that kind of stuff. Schedule B and C, and then this is where it really gets cool. These are the observations that our software was able to come up with for this client. No two observations is going to be the same because no two 1040 return is the same. So these are all different for every client that you're going to run through. You have the option to hide it. Maybe this doesn't really apply to them, or you just don't want to have that conversation. You can hide them. You can edit these. So maybe you talk about this and you write your notes. Talked about this to the client. We're going to do X, Y, and Z. So these are the great observations that go through. This one actually had quite a few. And then at the end of it, you also have the ability to write notes, just like overall notes about the meeting, what you talked about, how are you going to help the client, what they should take, to their CPA, what they want to go over. And then if you remember, I said, it's important to have your state listed. And this is why, because you can now see that because this client lives in the state of California, here are some tax hints for them for their state income taxes. Again, these are all editable and you can hide them. So this is that, you're looking behind you. Now, what do you want to do for the future? So what you get to do now is look through the scenario analysis. So this is now where you, the advisor, get to show off your skills and what you want to help them with. So in scenario 1, it's always going to pull over that current return that you uploaded. So you can see here, scenario 1 is exactly what we just went over. So scenario 2, we're just going to copy from scenario 1 because maybe not much has changed for 2022 for them. And you can name this anything you want. We'll say 2022 demo. And we're going to pop this in because there might be some new current law that comes up for 2022. So we've already got all that planned in there for 2022. The solve for max button is going to tell you, it's going to run here quickly. So the next change in effective rate is $20,000 and the long-term tax gains effective rate is $24,500. So now you have a range to work with the client, so you understand where their next big tax bracket comes into play. So that's always really helpful for you, the advisor, to know. Maybe there's a Roth conversion that will fit into this. Maybe there's a refundable tax credit, or they want to buy and sell a home. How does that look like for cap gains and losses, that kind of stuff? So that Solve for Max quickly gives you that peek into where that next tax bracket is going to hit the client. And then what you get to do down here is start changing these numbers around to figure out, what they want, what they'd like to do. Here's that Roth conversion button I was talking about, short-term cap gains and losses here. We have a scenario bank, so this will start, you can save your scenarios that you've built out, but we also have scenario recipes here on the right-hand side. So these are the top kind of scenarios that advisors have been asking us for. So what we have done is we've created them over here for you to just use. So what you do is you choose one that you want to do. Let's say, I don't know, let's do retirement plans. So this is going to tell you how to build out that scenario for the client step by step. So you just kind of read the instructions here and apply it onto the left. And it's really that simple. You can build out as many scenarios as you want. So maybe they do a Roth conversion, or maybe they have non-refundable tax credits that you want to look at, charitable giving, that kind of stuff. So you can build out as many scenarios here. Mine just stops at 4 because my screen isn't that big, but you can do hundreds of them at once. And it's just going to start saving them over here on your scenario bank. So once you've done all the analysis with the client, what's really cool is you're able to push, if you are a Redtail or a Wealthbox user, you're actually able to not only push this data over to them, you're able to push these observations over. So any of the ones that you save here are able to go over to Redtail or Wealthbox, and your notes are as well. So it'll show up in the notes section on your CRM platform. The other really cool thing that's going to push over to Redtail and Wealthbox is the tax letter that is created if you need that for a client as well. So those items are able to be sent over to the Redtail or Wealthbox platform. So really, with using PreciseFP to data collect, you're now able to have that information handy to go and run these tax forms for the client. And it's really that simple. You don't have to ask for anything extra from the client. Once you do receive those forms from the client, you, the advisor, can just quickly upload those into Holistiplan and run this report and send it back to the client. Like I mentioned, it is being able to white label, so you're able to put your logos on it and send it back to the client. So that's all I had to go over.
All right. Thank you, Tori. I appreciate that. So let me go ahead and I will open this up for questions. So I did see some come through, so bear with me just a second, folks. Now is the time. If you have any questions for PreciseFP or Holistiplan, please go ahead and put those right in that GoToWebinar control panel. Tori and I would be happy to go over any questions that you would be that you ask of us. So let me go ahead and get this going here and pull up the questions. Okay. So somebody asked, and I think this is, don't know if this is for both of us, but I can answer it for the PreciseFP side of things. But Jean asked, where is the document stored? So for the PreciseFP side of things, that is stored in PreciseFP. But what you can do is you can view and download that document that the client submits on that form. So you can, again, download all at one time, excuse me, or if you just want to click on one individual document and view it and download it, you can also do that as well. All right. Go ahead.
Quickly on the Holistiplan side, ours is held on that household account level. so you'll be able to find it there.
Perfect. Somebody asked us if for PreciseFP if we will set up a standard generic Holistiplan upload form. No, we don't have any plans on doing that, but as you saw, it is very easy to go out there and add an upload field. And we do have that pre-made tax section that you can certainly use. A lot of folks like to use that as sort of a starting point. I've also seen a lot of advisors kind of branch out and build out their own forms as well if they're tax planning oriented. So we're actually working on bringing on a content creator to PreciseFP. And if I'm not mistaken, a tax planning kind of oriented form is something that is on the horizon. I don't have an ETA on that or anything like that, but as for now, no, we don't have anything.
Yeah, and I think what's really cool too is you do have the tax template, and the 1040 is one of the required documents that you could ask for from the client. And so being able to already have that, you just download it out of PreciseFP and then upload it quickly into Holistiplan.
Exactly right. Yeah. So like I said, a lot of people use kind of what's already there, but it's very easy to just kind of tweak it to your needs if you need to. Somebody says it also looks like you integrate with FP Pathfinder. I don't know if that's for us. We do not, but
yes, we do have the integration with FP Pathfinder. Yep. So you guys saw that the little colored boxes, and those are the kind of the observations that are coming through from FP Pathfinder.
Awesome. Somebody asked for a replay. This is being recorded. It will be sent to everybody who attended or missed the webinar today. It'll also be uploaded on our YouTube channel as well. This one is for you, Tori. Somebody wants to know what the cost of Holistiplan is.
Yeah, so right now, if you need 30 uploads, so we charge per upload, not per advisor seat. So it's $4.99 for 30 uploads and then $9.99 for 75 uploads for the year. What's really great is, like I mentioned, we don't go based off advisor seats. We go by uploads of that 1040 form. So if you have 5 advisors in one office, we're just going based off the number of uploads, not the number of advisors in your office.
Awesome, thank you. Somebody asked if there's any plans for an integration between PreciseFP and Holistiplan. Not right now, but we are, our upper management of both platforms are in talks. So hopefully, yeah, hopefully. Somebody asked, are you actually exporting the document from PreciseFP to Holistiplan? So no, because again, we don't have a direct integration. So what you're doing is the client is uploading the document onto the PreciseFP form, you're downloading it, click of a button, and then just as Tori showed you, click of a button can manually upload that into Holistiplan. Let's see, are documents transmitted securely through PreciseFP? Yes, they are. We've got our encryption information. All of that is 100% encrypted, documents included. That's all information that can be found on our website about that. Let's see, somebody said, I'm sorry if I missed it, but does PreciseFP allow for pushing forms directly to Redtail? So it's data that actually exports to the integration partners that we do have. So for example, for Redtail, there is a certain set of data fields that actually map from PreciseFP over to Redtail and vice versa. And this goes for all of our integration partners. If you actually go to our website, precisefp.com, scroll to the bottom and there is a knowledge base link and you can do a search for like Redtail mapping table, for example. And that will show you exactly what fields do map back and forth between the integration partners. This one is for you, Tori. They said, did you say $499 for 30 uploads?
That's correct.
Okay, just needed some clarification on that. All right, so somebody said, so the PDF gets uploaded to PreciseFP and then sent to CRM and then pulled from the CRM to Holistiplan, not directly, right? So the actual attachment does not go to the CRM. The upload that your client does not export to the CRM. And actually, any uploads that your client does put into PreciseFP doesn't go anywhere other than like file-based exports. If you're looking to get it into Holistiplan, there are just a few clicks that you'll have to do. You just have to download it from PreciseFP and then get it uploaded into Holistiplan. I think this is for PreciseFP are the emails to the client sent securely. 100%, yes. Now, keep in mind that the email that goes to the client that is 100% customizable, brandable, all of that, it is a link that the client accesses to your PreciseFP form. And that link is secured. The data within it is secured, encrypted, all of that. You have two types of security levels that you can put on your forms, high and low. Low security doesn't require authentication, but that's going to be very minimal on what you ask of them, right? You don't want a low security level form and asking for them to put like social security and things like that, or statements, anything like that. I would recommend doing what we're talking about here with the client uploading a 1040. I would recommend doing that on a high security level because you are asking them to give you sensitive data. Now, keep in mind, again, PreciseFP is encrypted, secure, all of that. Our security information is right on our website. You can view our encryption level. We've got the highest encryption level and all of that. So the only email that goes out to the client is just the body of the email, which is customizable, and the link to the form. That's all that goes out. And those are customizable, and again, they are secure. All right, so another one for you, Tori. What are the average fees advisors are charging for a tax plan like this? High, low range is fine too.
Yeah, good question. A lot of advisors are actually not charging a fee for this. There's just part of their financial planning. So that's how we've really seen it, is that it's just kind of an add-on to their financial planning platform. So I think that's the best answer I could honestly give you. They're not actually charging additional for this. They're just adding it to like the bundle that they do for their financial planning.
Makes sense. All right, another one for you, Tori. Does the PDF of the tax return need to be readable, OCR, or what if it's just a photocopy of the tax return? Does Holistiplan accurately read the return during the import process?
Yeah, good question. So our OCR is getting better and better with every return that we have going through it. So we can pretty much read, I would say, 98% of the returns that are uploaded. It is nice if it's like it's not a photocopy, but we have been able to read those just fine. The ones that it actually gets stuck, and I know most of you will laugh out there, is the handwritten returns. We do still get those. You guys would be really shocked at that, but we do still get handwritten returns uploaded. So those are the ones that do get flagged, and our team is able to get those read and returned within a few hours if it falls within our normal business hours.
Awesome. Good question. All right, well, that looks to be all of the questions. So Tori, I want to take this time and really thank you for joining me today. You gave some really awesome insights into Holistiplan. I know they're going to have a lot of great takeaways from this. So again, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. And thank you all so much for taking time out of your afternoon to join us today. I've got our websites up there. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. We're more than happy to help. Again, thank you all so much for joining us. Hope everyone has a great rest of your day and your week. Stay safe and take care.